and I'm just going to say a few words on procedure. And I was going to do a little bit of an act for you people because I know you're all expecting one. I'm going to try to control myself today. Anyway, this is the public hearing. You're only going to have 15 minutes to talk. Oh no, that's the wrong public hearing. Sorry. This public hearing is convened in order to consider and receive submissions regarding proposed bylaw 311 sub 2011. Anyone who believes that their interest in property is affected by the proposed bylaw will be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard and to present written submissions respecting matters contained in the proposed bylaws. Those wishing to speak should commence their presentation by clearly stating their name and filling in the speaker's sheet with their name and addresses. And I believe the speaker's sheet is, Ms. Lalonde has it. Members of council may, if they wish, ask questions of you following your presentation. However, the main function of the council members is to listen to the views of the public. It is not the function of council members to debate the merits of the proposed bylaw with the individual citizens, which I know some of you are going to be upset about that. Everyone will be given a reasonable opportunity to be heard, and none should feel discouraged from presenting his or her views. In considering the proposed bylaw, council has received documents which may influence its decision. These documents are available for review during this hearing. Any person who wishes to present a written submission to council may do so, and all written submissions must be received by council before the close of this hearing. And that's very important. That part is really important. Your only opportunity to comment on the proposed bylaws is during this hearing, as members of council may not receive further submission, verbal or in writing, after the close of the hearing. After this public hearing has concluded, council may, without further notice, make whatever decision it deems proper with respect to the bylaws that are the subject of the public hearing. Now, I understand we have Michael Rosen on the speakerphone, and he will be available all during the meeting. And it's nice to meet you, Michael. Michael?
Okay, sorry, you just turned over to me?
Yeah, I'm just,
Not
not quite. I just wanted to say, welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party.
So to say. And the next person that you're going to hear from is our Director of Planning, Hap Stummick.
Thank you, Your Worship. As Mayor Adelaar indicated, the purpose of the public hearing tonight is to consider public comments related to bylaw number 311 of 2011, cited as Bowen Island Municipality Land Use Bylaw number 57/2002, Amendment Bylaw number 311/2011, brackets Belterra. This is an application that was received by the municipality about a year ago. Staff started processing the application in March of 2011. It has been through 2 readings now with the previous council. The purpose of the amendment bylaw is to do a couple things. One is to create a new comprehensive zone 16, and secondly to, and if we can get the computer up, we'll show you this, is to rezone the lands shown from rural residential 1 to CD 16, Belterra, and to Park 1. With that, I'll turn the floor over to Michael Rosen, who's going to speak to the application in more detail.
Hey, thanks. First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately I can't be with you tonight. I would certainly like to be there in person, and seen probably many of you in the audience before, but circumstances are such that I'm going to have to do it a different way. I think this is the second and third time actually we've done one of these in on Bowen, where I've had to do it over the phone, so it's not the first time, but the mistake I made
Everybody nodded, yes.
Well, I didn't really hear half very well, but that's probably good because I think he said some of the things I was going to speak to anyway. But I'll start off, and then if you can't hear me or I can't hear you, then I'll raise the point. So, as Hap said, I've been working with the municipality and the applicant in this rezoning application. The bylaw is bylaw 311. Tonight, I'm going to present a little bit about the bylaw, and then you're also going to hear a presentation from the proponent, Andy Beard, who will actually present those of the project. I think Hap said that the bylaw received first and second reading. That would be back in September and November, respectively. And it was at that November meeting where the bylaw was advanced to the public hearing. Now, I know that there are some new members of council involved in this project that weren't around when the bylaw got initial reading. So I'm hoping the background information that was provided by the municipality, there's a number of technical reports, staff reports, emails, presentation material that's in fact review, and I look at it or not. Hopefully council members have, and as well through these presentations, council members will become more acquainted with the project. So when the bylaw is in front of council third reading, which would be at a subsequent council meeting, they'll have had the benefit of the information package and the presentation. So that's just a little bit about sort of where we are now. There's been like many meetings and discussions that I'm not going to go through, but I just wanted to give you that little bit of background on the process. I'm sure most people there know about the property. Just a very brief overview. We're talking about a piece of property that's 10 acres in size. It's located in the Snug Cove area. It is in fact designated for co-housing in the new OCP that took place when the new OCP was recently adopted. The actual zoning of the property in the land use bylaw is residential rural 1, as Hap said, and the accommodates 30 units. The other 5 acres of the property also gets rezoned from rural residential 1, and it gets rezoned to park. So if those of you have a copy of the bylaw and you look at the bylaw map, you'll see the property is split into 2. The southern part is in fact zoned P1 park, which is land that the municipality is going to acquire through this process, and then the northern part is the CD area, which is the development parcel, and it would have 30. Now, another very important part of this whole framework is, and it's not in the zoning bylaw or land use bylaw, it doesn't amend any bylaw, is what we call a restrictive covenant. And this restrictive covenant is a legal instrument that gets registered on